Hello?
Why don't you want to talk to me?
Who is this?
You tell me your name, I'll tell you mine.
I don't think so.
What's that noise?
Popcorn?
You're making popcorn. I only eat popcorn at the movies.
I'm getting ready to watch a video.
Really? What?
Just some scary movie.
Do you like scary movies? What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite.
Um, Halloween. You know, the one with the guy in the white mask who walks around and stalks babysitters. What's yours?
Guess.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Is that the one with the guy had knives for fingers?
Yeah, Freddy Krueger.
Freddy, that's right. I like that movie. It was scary.
Well, the first one was, but the rest sucked.
Oh, you got a boyfriend.
Why? You want to ask me out?
Do you have a boyfriend?
No.
Never told me your name.
Why do you want to know my name?
Because I want to know who I'm looking at.
What what did you say?
I want to know who I'm talking to.
That's not what you said.
Like I said,
I have to go now.
wait, I thought we were gonna go out.
No, I don't think so.
Don't hang up on me, bitch.
Guys, we actually need to start the podcast now. So can we wrap it
Oh,
up?
oh,
Sorry, sorry.
shit. Oh shit, my bad.
I
Yeah.
got a bit carried away.
Okay. Welcome to another Grat Crag Productions podcast. Today, if you didn't guess, we're going to be talking about the Scream franchise. So I'm Grace.
I'm Sophia.
I'm JJ.
Cool. So let's kick it off with the first Scream film and that iconic opening scene, which is so incredibly made.
Yes.
It's like,
And so incredibly performed by, me and Sophie, I'm just saying.
yeah, that's an Oscar-winning performance,
Oh,
guys. I think we actually need to get in touch with, the makers and get you a job
yeah,
on that next film, Scream
Of
7,
course.
starring Sophia and
definitely.
Jacob. Yeah, just like filmatically with the opening scene of the first film, you've got like a lot of techniques they're using there that make it really, really good. So you've got like the candid angles, close-ups, you got the sound of the popcorn that I think really adds to the like tension of it. Um,
Yes.
use crash zooms, violin music, and the like script obviously very iconic, very
Yeah,
freaky. And it's just a very cool, tense scene, and that's why it's like so iconic. Yeah, it's a very well written scene as well. Which I think I said. Yeah,
yeah, I think so too.
yeah. I think it's just like a really good scene to start with. It like properly sets up the film, and
Yeah.
yeah, and it's very, very freaky, of course.
I think the
I,
entire first screen is literally a cinematic masterclass
I
of
agree.
how to do a horror film.
Yeah,
oh, I love
definitely.
It's
how.
the it's
Before
the
we say anything
basic
else, we should probably
principles.
say we will be discussing some spoilers in this podcast. So if we get to a Scream film that you have not watched, maybe hit pause, go watch it, and then continue listening because we need the views. Thank you. So
We are
yeah.
not a replacement for watching the film. Please go watch the film first. And give all credits first, then come back to us.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but I love how throughout the whole film it seems everything is intentional. Like every shot, every like Easter egg is like completely intentional.
That's beside the point.
Yeah, I think
Away lines that could have been clear at the beginning. Like, for example, there was a scene with all of them hanging out by the fountain, and
Yeah.
they're talking about the killings. And he goes, and she goes, "Well, I haven't killed anyone." And Billy goes, "Well, no one said you did."
yeah,
Mm.
there's a lot of foreshadowing, I think, with that. There's lots of like warning looks in that scene where I think knowing who the killers are, you can see them looking at each other
Oh my
like,
God, yeah.
calm down, Stu.
Yeah.
There's another foreshadowing thing I picked up on was just Billy watching The Exorcist and then like blaming it on the media at the end. You know, like you already know that
Mm.
they're into horror films. It also just sets up kind of the
This
like
is a side
vibes
note.
of the film.
This is a
Yeah.
side note, but I'm sorry. What do you mean? Oh, I was watching The Exorcist and it made me think of you.
Yeah, no, that's
Sorry,
the first red flag.
sorry.
That's when you break up with him and run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when you go, hey dad, my boyfriend broke into my room because he watched The Exorcist and thought of me. Go kick him out. Yeah, but I think all of the foreshadowing is really good, and especially with the references to the other films. So you talk about The Exorcist, but that is kind of like the vibe of the film. There's a lot of intertextual references where they reference a million and one horror films.
Yeah.
And I think that just kind of gives the like feel of it. It's like not something that many other horror films have been able to do, without being like too cringy or anything. So I think, yeah, it's really good how they do that. Yeah.
Mhm.
There's like the self-awareness as well that comes with that.
Yeah.
Like
Um,
my favorite bit's the when she like says, oh, there's always some like dumb blonde who can't act who's running up the stairs when she should be running out the front door, and then like 5 minutes later she's running up the stairs.
instead of running out the front door.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like she does go for the front door
But
at least.
also
Like
like
that's
Yeah.
yeah. But to be fair, like most of them don't really fit the like horror film characteristics that they were talking about themselves.
no,
There's
they don't.
always
Yeah.
like if you're talking about the stereotypical five, it's like if you ever seen Cabin in the Woods, I'm just gonna refer to that just for a sec.
I've not
Usually
seen
there's a
this.
jock, there's a stoner, there's a hot chick, there's a nerdy one, and then you got the final girl who's like the strong like my dad left me, so I'm gonna be stronger. So then all that stuff. Yeah.
I
But
think
with
they
that,
kind of
all of
play on that a
them,
lot though.
yeah,
Like at
all
some
of them
point,
in total.
there are some points in
Yeah.
the film they really, really play on that with like Randy being like the nerdy one. Billy is obviously the stereotypical psycho ex-boyfriend. I don't know if like Scream really kicked that off because that's like the one that I kind of think of. I think it is the most iconic one. I don't know if this is the first though, but that's kind of like the OG psycho boyfriend, I'm gonna say. On risk of being cancelled. Not like within horror films, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't.
I'm thinking about.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, like I guess like Heathers came out before that, where you had JD, but that isn't horror, really.
It's not horror. It's
Yeah,
more of a thriller.
yeah. I
Um,
think Billy though is the definition of psycho boyfriend, at least.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Also just
I mean, technically, if you class Beetlejuice as technically an ex, because they did technically go get married, so they were fiancés for like 10 seconds. But
oh
like,
yeah, yeah. I guess.
I
Yeah,
mean, if you're gonna class them, I think Beetlejuice is the first crazy ex. But you know,
yeah. Okay. Um, one of the things that one of the other really iconic scenes is which scene am I even referring to here? I wrote down a scene and I can't remember the scene that I was writing about.
What did you write down?
I wrote down bathroom sequence and I can't remember which scene I'm talking about there.
Bathroom sequence. Is this
Who
Scream
dies in the
1?
bathroom in the first
Is
bit?
Scream 1?
Yeah.
Oh, the bathroom sequence when like is this when she goes into the bathroom and then you have like the footsteps
Oh,
going down like in the
yeah,
stall
that's it.
burst out the
That was
toilet.
weird.
I have a theory with that one
Oh my
because
God,
like
go for it.
well it's not really a anyway it's because Billy and Stu were like well Billy was literally just outside and Stu was like there early like in the hallway. I just think it was like an imposter trying to scare her. I don't think it was either one of them because how dodgy would that have looked like either one of the people going into the girls' bathroom?
Yeah, exactly. I think
I
that's a
always
good
thought
point.
I
I
always
think
thought they were just like going to be like trying to scare her.
yeah, they do make it really freaky though. They kind of get inside Sydney's head with that again with like POV
Yeah,
shots, canted angles, music, amplified sound, and they kind of cut between like really close shots and really wide shots, which I think
yeah,
is always quite a cool thing to do in horror films because you kind of get close and very tense and into the character's head, and then you go wide and you go like, wait a minute, there's nothing there, but then you're constantly still looking for something, and that's
Yeah.
always works out really well, I think. Yeah, but there are a lot of POV shots I noticed of just like watching in like throughout the film. That's very cool. Yeah. So why does everybody think it's Randy in the first film?
Because well,
He's the most knowledgeable of our horror
Yeah.
fans, so he would obviously know how to kill someone,
and
basically.
then when he started calling people, being like, "Oh, what's your favorite scary movie?" They're like, "Oh, I love it's Randy," because like it's gonna be Randy because he's always obsessed with scary movies and like the
Yeah.
rules of scary movies and stuff like that.
I find it quite funny though how they're always like, oh, hi Randy, like, oh Randy, is that you? And it's just like, no, he's watching some Jamie Lee Curtis film on the sofa, like.
Because how else would he have got? How else would they have got like the number? I swear.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah, that's actually a good point. I guess that's why it always has to be someone in like the close group, because
Yeah.
you need someone with the number.
Yeah.
However, though, like there were some kills that didn't even use the phone. Though, for example, that principal that got killed
Yeah.
first
Oh yeah.
didn't get called. He just got slashed.
Yeah, because they wouldn't have their teacher's phone number,
Exactly.
because that would be a felony.
It works.
Yeah. So another scene, Tatum's death scene. That's
Oh
the
my
body horror
God.
in that. Sorry to bring it
Iconic.
up, guys, but it's I
I
actually
know, obviously it does. Obviously it does.
but it's a really it's a very well made scene. But yeah, the body horror in that is actually like insane.
I
I
feel
can
like
barely watch it. You can just hear like the squish and stuff. And you're like,
oh, I feel like for it and like I swear her last words were something like no mum or something like she was like shouting for her mum. That just makes it so sad.
I know. It's always stuff like that they do with their like final words that are just so depressing.
Yeah. And also like I think it was really
Is it bad?
I
I
don't know,
kind of
good for
laugh
its
at that.
time because like
I find it
the
funny.
whole I mean now they can obviously make the whole like garage door squishing like her head more realistic, but I feel like at the time that was like
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
know,
I would
for its
still
time.
say that it's still extremely realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely. I want to
No,
think.
it's just the non-realistic thing I'm thinking of is when Sydney sees it and it looks like a mannequin arm.
Oh, it does a
Yeah.
little, but
Yeah.
like the actual squishing stuff, that's
Yeah,
pretty.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, one of the things I wrote down while watching it was just, Billy, what are you doing here? Stu suspiciously. He says that, and I found that quite funny.
Wait, when was
Mhm.
this?
At one point, I think it's at the party, where oh yes, when Billy shows up at the party.
Oh, and they give each other a look. They're just like,
Yeah, and Stu's so suspicious about it that I find it so funny. She's like, Billy,
Yeah.
what are you doing here? I had no idea you were gonna be here. What?
yeah.
So funny. Yeah, and they've
Also,
got
can we
the
just
amazing horror movie rules that are iconic.
Icon Randy.
Yeah, he's like
I'll be right back.
one of the things he says that I find funny is the obligatory tit shot that they have in horror films, and then it cuts to Sydney. I found that really funny while I was watching that. Dewey and
Oh
Gale as well
yeah.
as a ship. I wrote that down, and it makes me I love seeing I love it. They're just like such a cute couple. Yeah.
Who?
Dewey and Gale.
Oh
Let's
yes.
talk about
Yeah.
them. We haven't talked about them very much.
I love
They're
Gail.
so
She's the
cool.
best, and not just because she's Monica on Friends. She is the best. I love her so much. Yes,
Did
I
you
probably
know-
liked her more than I should have initially because she was Monica on Friends.
True.
But yeah,
Did you know that David Arquette and what was that? What's her real life
Courtney
name?
Cox.
Courtney Cox. Sorry, I just referred to her as Monica. Courtney Cox and David Arquette, the two people who played Dewey and Gail, got married and was married
Yeah.
for a
Yeah, so
while.
they were married
I
through like the
literally know the
four
timeline.
films.
Like apparently they met in
Oh.
the first film.
Yeah.
In the second film they were like dating. In the third film they were married. In the fourth film they were divorced.
Were they divorced in the fourth as well?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I would not expect that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of them in the fourth together now.
No, because they're still on good terms
Yeah.
now, but yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. They're a very, very good couple. I love like them, like going off together while the party's going on and stuff. It's
Yeah.
super cute. Yeah. I love such a good scene is when Randy's watching the film and like he's like, look behind you, Jamie, and it's behind the ghost face is behind him.
Yeah, that's such a nice duality moment,
Yeah, it's
which kind
just
of
so
repeated in Scream
funny.
6, repeated in Scream 6.
Yeah, it does. No, in Scream 5, isn't it?
It's Scream 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Sorry.
Yeah.
I
But
knew
it's
what I
kind
was
of like
thinking. I knew what I'm thinking.
it's like pantomime-esque humor, but it still just like really, really works. I really
Yeah.
like the whole kind of he's
Mhm.
behind you sort of thing. So,
Mm.
so during rewatch, I find Billy's in air quotes death very unrealistic to what like as a re what on oh my God,
Yeah.
my words on rewatch. Um, it's something about how he does it that's very I'm
And
acting.
how there are no like cuts through the shirt.
Yeah, it's just kind of yeah, it's a very weird thing to watch on rewatch because you're like, I know. Um, yeah, and it's a bit kind of like, huh, that doesn't quite seem like good acting. But I think
Oh,
that's on purpose, so it is good acting, if that makes
yeah.
sense.
Not when he falls down the stairs. Like, just before like Act 3, when he falls down the stairs.
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, okay. If he was dead, how is he like just crawling around? He's
Yeah,
like Cindy, and then he falls down the stairs.
yeah. So are we was there a because I know Scary Movie plays on this with the
Yeah.
Stu and Billy kind of people shipping them and stuff. What are our thoughts on that? I don't think I don't think I really
Didn't
get
get
behind that, but I think it's not incorrect.
Well, sorry, no. First of all, okay, I have proof, right? There is the scene where like they're stabbing each other, and it gets real intimate. It gets really like they're holding each other's face, they're
Yeah.
holding each other, they're stabbing each other, and like they're like, "Oh, you fucking asshole."
Yeah.
This feels not good.
Also thinking back to like 90s stereotypes of gay people, that quite accurately fits in.
But I've always thought that that like it was unreciprocated from like Billy, because I thought he was only
Mhm.
set on like revenge.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty accurate. Yeah.
That's why like in the end it's like the
Yeah.
ultimate betrayal when he like
Also, can we
stabs
quickly just talk?
Stu,
Mhm.
like not where they planned or something like that, a bit more than
Yeah, it's
they start making him
betrayal.
bleed out.
Yeah. I think the TV death
Yeah.
though.
Can we also just say real quick? Stu's death did not kill him. Stu's death did not kill him. I don't think he's dead.
I think he's
Scream
dead.
7.
I think he's
Scream
dead.
7. I think he's coming back.
Stu.
Scream. Yes, I think he's coming back. Scream 7.
I don't
Run it
believe
back.
it. I love the
I think
TV
he's
death.
dead.
That's the next thing I wanted to say. 5 out of 5 creativity on the TV death. And if he comes back, I will be annoyed. I will be like,
Yeah,
what? He was dead.
I
It's one of the things that really bugs me
Well,
about
his
it.
body was literally like
he's not dead.
Yeah. He was so dead. You can't have
Yes,
your
he's fried. It
head,
was
you can't get
electrocuted.
stabbed and then have a TV thrown onto your head and
electrocuting you.
survive.
Like your brain is fried.
Yeah, like even
And
a
you saw
zombie
in
is not
Scream
eating that.
6, the TV, it literally had like a massive like dent in it. Like it
Yeah.
broke and everything.
It's
So he
I think
didn't
Stu's dead.
die through the electrocution,
I
like the shards of
personally,
the TV.
I personally don't think so, but we will see in Scream 7
And also, it's one of
if
those
they
like
ever make.
old TVs, so they're going to be super heavy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it
that's
also
true
does have a lot of
actually.
electrical current going through them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. It's
Well, apparently, it managed to kill the other killer in Scream 6, Ethan.
oh my God, no, the Ethan death was
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about
we'll
that.
talk about
Yeah,
that when we get to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So is this a good point to go on to Scream 2, or is there more to say about the first Scream?
I think so.
I think we move on to Scream 2.
Okay. So
Okay,
get into
listen.
the cinema scene.
I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or not, but I love the fact that that it like turned the events from the first book into a movie.
I think it's sick. I think
I
it's a
love that.
great
It's
it's a cool
premise.
realistic.
I think it's
It's
a very
realistic.
cool way to do it, and like it adds to the kind of self-aware atmosphere that I
Yeah.
really like. So I think it works very well as like a dramatic device, which is really
And I'm also
clever.
thinking, because that actually happens in real life. Like you get like films made of like real life events. So it's just
Yeah, it's
saying
true.
off
Yeah.
that.
Like
I can name
Gail always
3
says like
right now
somebody
off the
else
top of
drive
my
past
head.
it if I didn't.
I can name 3 horror films that's based on real things right now. You've got Psycho that's based on Ted Bundy. You got Ed Gein, which inspired Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then you got the real life Annabelle doll that turned into the and Annabelle such Conjuring films.
Yeah. And even now, like true crime series are massive.
Yeah.
They reference that in a later film as well. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's like Scream. I want to say 5 or 6. I want to say Scream 5 or 6. They mentioned
Yeah,
something
one of
like
them
that.
I think maybe 5. I'm not sure. Yeah. So Scream 2 though, beginning with the cinema scene, it's very cool, very like wait, what did I write?
I think it's another one of the best like opening. I really like it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think they've got the same kind of like they mock horror films in the self-aware kind of
Mm.
way that they do that works in a very dramatic comedic kind of way. It's very cool. And it's just a very like spooky atmosphere. It comes in later in Scream 6 where with like Halloween on the train, but they've got so many people in ghost face masks that
Yeah,
like
so
it's kind of a bit unnerving after watching the
and
first
also it
film.
is also such I also think it's such a step up from Scream 1 because like it shows that Ghostface is like willing to kill it like in public now with millions of like
Yeah.
witnesses. So it just shows an elevation of like from the first film.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's a very, very cool opening scene though, and just anything set in a cinema I love. So yeah, it's very cool.
But also thinking about it though, if you think about who the killers actually are,
Yes.
right?
Spoilers.
It is very much understandable why they would do it in a cinema or why they would do it wherever they actually are. Because
Yeah.
I think it was Mickey and then Billy's mum, right?
Yeah.
I think those
Yeah.
were the 2 characters, yeah.
Yeah.
Billy's mum, her entire thing was trying to get some sort of publicity.
No,
Just
that was wait, Billy's mom.
yeah,
I
she
think
was
she
trying to get
wanted like
publicity.
I
revenge
thought she wanted
on
revenge for her son, and then Mickey wanted
She
to
wanted
get
revenge for her son, but she also wanted to try and publicize the fact that this is like there was a killer. Well, there was some guy that wanted to get like an interview with Gail about saying
yeah.
that I'm not the real person. She was trying to blatantly put all the publicity onto him, saying that he's the fucking killer.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think motives in this one's very good. One of my favorite things about this film though is, and Jacob, I'm going to annoy you again, the film class where they're talking about the sequels, love self-aware, and there is someone who makes fun of someone for saying that Aliens is better than Alien when it is not.
It is.
It's
It's
not.
so good. It's
It's
so
not.
good. It's so good.
I hate Aliens so much.
It is so
I love
good.
Alien.
It's a step up from the first.
It's a completely different film. It doesn't even fit into the franchise.
It's a step up. It's a step.
Can I
Okay.
just say,
What?
can I just say any scene with what's her name? Sarah Michelle Gellar, is that her name?
I'm not sure.
No, I don't know. I think I'm thinking of someone else. Buffy from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I don't know what she's called, but
I don't know.
anything with her in it, I love.
Yeah. But
Because
and they also
her
talk about The
death scene
Godfather
was
as
great.
well. And The Godfather 2 is, I'd say, slightly better, but not quite as exciting as the first one. There's a little
I think Godfather 2 is miles above this one.
I think like filmatically, if is that even a word? I don't even know.
You-
With
yeah,
It
you
is
film,
just
Sarah
want to talk
Michelle
about the third
Gellar.
one.
who does she play?
Cece.
Which one's that again?
Yeah.
Is that like
Yeah.
her
The one
roommate
that-
friend?
The one that like stays at the sorority house, whatever. And she gets killed. She's like watching TV and he calls her and then she gets
Yeah, okay. I know.
oh, she gets chucked off the balcony.
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Free falling.
Also, in the second film, we have another occasion where Gail gets punched, and I find them slightly iconic.
In almost every film, Gail gets punched.
It's just such like it just makes
Oh.
the Scream film in a weird little way.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's one that
If
doesn't.
you
but I
don't
can't
punch
remember
Gail,
which one.
no, every single film, Gail gets punched. There was one where she
Did
blocks
she
the
get
first
punched in
punch.
Scream 5?
Yeah, she blocks the first punch thrown
Yeah,
by
and then
Sam,
Tara
and
goes
then
to
again
punch her.
Jenna Ortega comes in for
I
the
thought that was
second
Scream
one
6.
across her face.
Yeah, that's Scream 6.
Nah,
Yeah.
was it? Oh,
I think it
I
is.
just okay.
I watched it last night,
Well-
so let's consult the notes. Maybe. Wait, if I
Consult the
remember
notes.
it. Yeah, more Gale punches. I wrote in Scream 6 with punches plural, so I'm guessing that's
Well, Scream.
um,
Yeah.
yeah. So Gale's also just really rude to people, like her cameraman. Something that
Yes.
we don't really talk about. In the first
Her
two, she really isn't actually that
But-
nice.
She's
But
actually a
the
really
second
shit
film-
person.
Yeah.
The
She's a
second film,
really
her
bad person.
development from the start to the end is I'm obsessed with it. It's so
Yeah, like obviously she has a character arc, but pre-character arc, she's actually just so rude. I feel like that's something that never really gets talked about. I mean, she's still a great character, but like she is quite rude. Yeah. So I think the main difference between the first and the second one is the second one is slightly more like jump scary rather than
Yeah.
tension.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
one of the
No,
things.
no, actually, I wouldn't, because like you've got the whole in the recording studio, you've got that whole scene.
Yeah, that's very tense
Oh,
actually.
and
Yeah.
you've got like Dewey literally this is not tension, but you've got Dewey literally getting killed like between that like what's it called, soundproof glass. or
Yeah,
whatever.
oh my
Killed.
God, don't
Not
even bring that up. I
killed.
can't I can talk about that.
Not
That's actually
killed,
emotional
stabbed.
damage.
That is
Dewey didn't get killed. He got stabbed in that
no,
film.
that's what I meant. I meant almost got killed.
I mean,
know he
we-
didn't get killed.
but let's just take a moment to talk about how they are literally like Gale and Dewey just can't die. Well, I mean, they do.
I
Well,
mean,
don't
mean-
talk about that yet. Don't talk about that yet.
But
Didn't
like
age
for
well.
the first like 4 films, they just get through everything, you know?
Yeah.
well, as well, Gale like all the way to the end so far.
Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know the one thing that really bugs me about the second Scream film? Who builds a
What?
stage set out of stone? Like the stage for Sydney's performance, there's literal stones.
Out of stone?
Yeah, there's like rocks, there's like bricks, and then one of them falls and it's like an actual stone. I was like, what the hell?
Oh.
I mean, in fairness,
Well,
that's the main
obviously-
criticism of this film. It's still good. But it really
Because
was.
I think like like the whole like Greek like out like college sorority thing. I don't think for me personally, I don't think it worked. Me personally,
Really.
I didn't really care.
I think the sorority kind of, I mean, it wasn't like a massive thing, was it?
No, but there was like a whole scene where like one guy stood on a table, started singing all the.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, that was. And
Sydney's
then
new
Vicky
boyfriend
doing his little
is
thing. He
such
goes
an
to the.
ick. Like, who the hell does
Isn't it?
that? Who
Better
jumps on
than,
the table and
better
starts
than
singing?
Billy. It's better than Billy.
I don't think it is. I think I'd rather date a
I'd
psychopath
rather-
than someone who jumps on a table and starts singing. I say that as
Wow.
a
Not
You
Troy-
say that as
You're
a
not-
theatre kid as well.
let's
you're
let's
not Troy
let's
Bolton,
cover
get
the wall
down.
behind me.
We're not Troy Bolton. Get down.
But no,
Yeah, it's not
I
Troy
also
Bolton.
hated it. I also hated it until I saw this like one video. I can't remember what it was. There was a one video saying, "Oh yeah, like it was actually like necessary to show, oh, this is like a normal friend group, and they're like happy or whatever." And then it also to show,
Okay.
I don't know. There was a video saying so. I watched it
Normal?
like years ago. Can't remember.
One of the other things that bother me is Randy's facial hair that just needs to
Oh.
go. I mean, I'm really sad that he dies in
It
this
wasn't
film.
that
He was my
bad.
favorite
I don't
character,
think it
but his
was-
facial hair is not a win.
I don't think it was that bad. I can't remember. I haven't seen it in a minute, but I don't think it was that bad. All I can remember
It's
was a
pretty
goatee.
bad.
It was pretty much just a
General
goatee.
Costumes are pretty worse in this film, I think. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was very much plasticky. If that makes sense, it's more plasticky.
Yeah. One of
His
the
death
most
scene, though.
oh my God, the Randy's death scene is actually so sad.
Although I think the actual like shot of his body could have been better. Why was there so much fake blood everywhere?
Yeah.
That was
Like
quite a
it
lot.
was all over his face. And I was like, I'd
Also,
rather see
it
like
was
the
off
deep
screen.
wounds.
It was
Yeah.
off screen. He got pulled into the van, and then his body was revealed later.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but
It's
I do like the whole there was a shot through the window mirror of the car.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's always a very cool thing to do.
Mm.
Yeah. One of the most tense scenes I think is when like they're stuck in that car trying to get away near the end.
Yes.
And then they had to like get out and climb over Ghostface.
Oh my God.
then,
That
like-
first time I watched that, edge of my seat.
Yeah.
I was
And then-
like, her friend's gonna die. Her friend's gonna
Yeah,
die.
I genuinely thought they were gonna die. And I think so when Mickey was first revealed, I was like, who the hell is that guy? I was like, who is this? I was
Then on rewatching it, I can see how he'd be the killer. Because
Yeah.
he's constantly there. Also in the hospital when Derek got injured, he was like, "Oh no, it's just a bit strange that the killer only let him get away with like a gash to the arm, like dodging several major
Yeah.
arteries, especially with like her boyfriend being like a medical major.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
I
it's
think
very
the boyfriend
coincidental
is
how it missed
quite
all major
suspicious
arteries.
initially.
Mm.
I mean, I feel like if they did do Psycho Boyfriend twice, though,
And
that would
also,
be good.
all of the stuff. Well, that's what they were leading. Well, that's what they were trying to make us think with the whole putting all
Yeah.
the suspicion onto him. But anyway, what I was going to say was also you see all the camera footage of the kills and stuff
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
victims or whatever. And guess who's always holding a camera? Mickey. He's always got a camera in his hand, and then you see all this camera footage of like, I don't know, the first two people they're walking into the cinema or whatever.
Yeah.
Because when like Gail and Dewey are in that room and they see the screens of these like before the people died, and they're like, oh, that's Randy like walking around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just noticed that while rewatching it because he's always got like a camera on his hand. I'm like, oh,
Yeah. So I think the motive for this film is very good from the killers and the theatre setting. Near the end, they've got some really good cinematography things as well. It's just really, really cool. The final scene in the theatre setting. I think that's a really nice. It's got a very cool ending, I would say, with that whole kind of setting. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the theory is saying it works in the sense of like like the final act, like the final stage, something like on the stage, and that kind of works. But yeah, I think it works.
Okay, yeah, I agree. I think I love it because they do lots of canted angles through it, and I just love everything. Like I said again with the cinema, but it's just such a cool thing to do. Yeah. So we're on to Scream 3.
Dear God. Oh.
The one thing that confused me at first, I was like, oh my God, how has Cotton gotten famous? We didn't really talk about him much in Scream 2.
well,
But he was a
Scream
character
2,
that
I
was
swear at the end, like Sydney's like, oh, he's he like saved me, he saved the day.
he's kind of becomes the sort of hero, and then he's famous, which I was a bit like, how has he done that? But
100% Karen.
Also, the killer has good taste of music. That's something I wrote down, but I can't actually remember why. Does he play music or something? Okay, let's ignore that then. Right, guys, but we're on to something we need to talk about here. Gail's microfringe. It's not good. It's not good.
Last time I saw it, I was like,
But then who's done that to
I started
you?
ignoring it. I started ignoring it like throughout later on in the film. But
I was like, who has done that to you?
I'm like, I loved the Scream 2, the Bob and the red.
It's got some really
I
cool
love
red
that.
highlights. Yeah, first I didn't like them, and then I watched it again with like higher brightness, and I was like, wait a minute, they look really cool. Yeah, and then
The worst thing about
no,
move the point along. I'm gonna move the point along. So if it's about the fringe, keep going around the fringe.
Okay, so she has a yellow and red suit, and that just kind of bothers me. Yeah. Anyway, what were you gonna say? You've already got much more proper point than me.
Yeah. That voice box.
Oh my God.
This was made. And when was it made? I think it was around 2000 and like
2000.
what was that? 2000, yeah.
Yeah.
So you telling me that a device in the year 2000 can perfectly mimic a person's voice to a T, so much that you can't even tell if it's the real person or not.
They've got some proper spy kit there.
Yeah, it's the most BS. Like,
It's the most unrealistic part of the film.
Yeah.
I'm like talking about like serial killers and that god awful fringe, but like, yeah, that is the most unrealistic part of the film.
But
One of
And it,
the one of the things I found very funny about this film is the fact that Dewey is dating the actress who played Gale in the Stab films.
oh, well, not
oh,
really. Well, not
At
really
the
dating. I
beginning,
think it was just. I think he. To be honest, I just think he was doing that to get back at Gail.
probably. Yeah. I found
But
it
yeah,
funny though.
well, I love the person who plays Gail. I think her name's Jennifer.
Yeah.
I hate her at the start. At the end, I was so sad when she died. I was there
That's
like.
true. She was quite annoying in the beginning though.
Also, the storyline had so much potential.
it
Yeah,
did.
it really
It was like, oh, Stab movie set, like it's all the characters and they're like other versions of
yeah.
characters. It just wasn't executed as well as it could
I
have been.
think the characters are quite funny because there's one where like they kind of mock horror films a bit, and she's like they talk about like getting stabbed in the shower, and she's like, yeah, I've seen Vertigo, when obviously it's not Vertigo, it's Psycho.
Yeah.
And I think the film nerd in me laughed for way too long at that.
Yeah.
I found it very funny though. Yeah.
Also, it's the only time in the entire Scream franchise where Ghostface is played by one person. It's not
Oh
two
yeah.
people.
Well,
It's only Roman Bridger in
yeah.
this entire Roman Bridger, the director. Sorry, I had to give him his full title.
Yeah.
Like the amount of times he says "I'm a director" in that film,
Oh
you
my
can do a
God, yeah.
drinking game about it. You can do a
Oh,
drinking game
that's
about it. Drink every time Roman Bridger says he's a director. You'd be pissed by the end of the night.
yeah. I think
But then again, he's only in like 3 scenes.
what Roman?
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but he still says I'm a director
Like too
Yeah.
many times.
too many times in those 3 scenes.
He's only okay, apart from like the final scene, obviously, he's only in a scene with Sydney once. I felt that was a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the scene in once they don't interact, they just kind of walk past each other or something.
Also, I think
Yeah.
like he isn't in enough scenes to be properly recognized at the end. It's the same thing with
Yeah.
Mickey. But I think because when he first took off the mask, I was like, who's that guy?
But
And
the
then he
thing
was
is
like,
with
oh, I'm Roman, the
Mickey,
director. And I was like, are you?
the thing is with Mickey, on rewatching it, I'm like, okay, I can see how Mickey could be the killer. This one, I'm like, you're in 2 scenes.
Yeah.
Two
Oh,
scenes.
God.
Yeah. I think the big scene that I remember when I think of this film is when they're all in the house and then like they all leave and that guy goes
Okay.
back in because
You know,
he's so stupid.
you know the bit, when like Roman reveals himself and all that stuff. After that stuff, I think it's great.
Yeah, that's very
Yeah.
true.
That's the best bit of the film.
I mean, one of the things I like earlier on is Randy's trilogy rules video. I find that quite good, and it's quite like it builds a certain atmosphere because he says that Sydney could die this film, and that's quite
Yeah.
like a whoa, let's hang on a minute kind of thing going on there. Also, another thing, Carrie Fisher cameo. Let's talk about that.
Yes. Yeah.
I was
I love-
like, when
I also
I
love
was
how she's
literally
like,
sitting there like,
how they think
it's
she's
Carrie Fisher.
I think I was only told you that there was a Carrie Fisher cameo.
Were you? I think I did notice it when she came on screen.
Oh.
I think
I think I told you before, and you're like, "Oh, I really want to see it now." And then
oh,
then you
maybe
know.
that. Yeah, no, actually, no, I
Yeah.
remember that now. Yeah.
But yeah, I also love that she goes like, they're like, "Oh wait, are you like?" And she's like, "No, I tried out
Like,
for the role."
no. She said, yeah, but I didn't sleep with the director or something. I swear she says that. It's so funny.
Yeah.
One of the things that I actually quite like about this film is the film set chase, where they like get chased around the film set, and then there's like the door that swings open, and there's nothing there. I found that quite cool. I thought that was
Yeah,
yeah,
it's realistic.
yeah,
The film set anyway.
yeah. It is a very cool film set, and it's actually quite similar.
Mm.
Yeah, I wrote something down, and I can't remember what it was, but someone at some point in the film says, "Look, Gail, the mirror's moving," and has an awful acting. I can't remember who that
That was
actually
Chewie, I think.
was. It?
Yeah, because
Oh
they
my
were both in the
gosh.
same room, and then like
Yeah.
Jennifer was like banging on the window.
Oh my God. No, I remember now. Yeah, that was one of the things that I was like, you're a great actor. However, that line was had some pretty bad delivery right there. Um, not to be rude, but I don't, at fairness, I don't even know how you would have said that line well. Maybe it's more the writing there. But the way he was just
Yeah.
like, look, Gail, the mirror's moving. And she's like just
I think it
banging
was
on the
too,
other
but I can't
side.
remember.
I could not take that seriously. Um, one of the iconic lines is "It's your time to scream, asshole." I found that very iconic, very cool of Sydney. And she says the film title, which is very cool.
Oh,
Wow.
I always love when that happens. Yeah. And then at the end, we have the Dewey and Gale proposal scene, which is,
I like how you put it in the book as well.
yeah, that's so cute. It was like such a lovely little engagement. And they've got such like a nice happy ending. And I really like that.
You see, you see Sydney with Derek. Is that his name? I don't know.
Is Derek in the oh yeah, he's in the last scene, isn't he? Wait, is it Derek? It's not Derek.
I can't
Derek's the
remember.
Scream 2 boyfriend.
Yeah.
I know who you're referring to though. Yeah.
It's thingy from Grey's Anatomy.
While you Google that, is there anything else you want to say about this film?
I don't really want to be honest. I want to move on to the
He's
next
Derek
one.
in Grey's Anatomy. That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh,
Close, Vic.
Oh.
Okay.
One sec.
We move away from this film then and on to Scream 4.
okay.
Yes.
I have things to say about it, right? Because
Yeah, I do as well.
to be honest, I think it's probably
Oh, it's
Scream
Mark.
3 is the worst. Yeah.
I think.
Scream 3 is the
Yeah, Mark.
worst.
It's Mark. Mark
It is
Kincaid.
Mark.
Okay.
Very excited about that, aren't you?
Okay, sorry. No. Just remember.
Scream 3 is probably the worst. Then it will be probably followed by Scream 4. I'm gonna be
I'm going
honest.
to
do like-
controversially
I-
say that Scream 4 is the worst.
No. Anyway, you're just
Okay,
you're just wrong.
let's talk about
You're just
Scream 4
wrong.
then.
I have mixed feelings. Because when I did my actual ranking, I put Scream 4 above Scream 3. But then in my like second last. But then in my I obviously love them all. Like there isn't one that I actively hate. But but what was I gonna say? But then I tried to do a ranking based on like, I don't know, gore and kills and all that stuff. And then Scream 4 was like really, really high.
Yeah. So this is
So
the
I
thing
don't
that
know.
bothers me about Scream 4, just the excessive amount of blood and guts. Like,
I do
there's
like
just
the
no
Olivia
reason
Gilbert.
to have that much fake blood. The one scene that annoys me is when she's in her bedroom and Sydney like runs into the next house to
I
find
love
the
that
dead girl in her
scene.
bedroom.
I love that scene because they're
She gets
watching it
stabbed,
through
like-
the window of like the house.
Yeah, the windows thing is
upstairs.
very cool, but when she gets into that room, no, I don't think there's that much blood in any human being's body that they put into
There's
that
about
room.
Why is it
there's
all
about 5 liters of blood in the human body.
There was 20 liters in that room, I swear. Like, it's just ridiculous. There's no splatter patterns.
I
It's
do like
just
the guts.
walls of blood, and you can see
I
her
do like the
guts and
guts.
everything. I mean, like, I was like, that's just too excessive. Like, I just found
Also,
it
we need
funny. I was laughing.
You also need to talk about Jill, the lady cop at the end, who keeps like popping out of the darkness, like in the corner of the room, just like,
Oh
Jill's-
Jesus, yeah.
Isn't Jill the cousin? And
Jill's the cousin,
No.
but it's someone else.
Jill's the cousin,
was-
and
was
then the
that-
police
was that
officer has a
blonde?
different name.
The
I
police
get what you mean,
officer.
though. I think
Judy. Is that her name?
Yeah, Judy. I think that was it. I think
Judy.
everything in this film is just too suspicious.
Yeah.
yes.
But I do quite like the opening scene though, with like the double film bluff kind of thing, where it's like, oh, they're in a
I
film.
did. No, but
Oh, they're in a
I did
film.
originally, but then rewatching it, I'm like, no, I can't be bothered.
No, I kind of like it.
Also-
I think it's quite smart, but the
Also-
execution isn't really it.
No, because
That's what
the actual one, I liked the other two. I like the stab ones. The actual one I thought was underwhelming.
Oh, that's kind of real.
I think
The actual opening.
the two positives of this film, right? One, the best and probably the funniest line in this entire film, when now one guy is about to die, the one with like the camera on
I
his,
know
like,
exactly
face,
what you're
it's like-
about to say.
And he goes, "Wait, I'm gay.
Okay,
I'm
if
gay."
that helps,
Yes.
And
it's my
and he
favorite
goes,
line in like the whole of the film.
I was like, I'm an equal opportunity serial killer, stab, stab, stab. But and then my second thing is the opening scene where they go through every single stab film, and they're like, it's like that scene was like, oh my goodness, this is Inception, but a Scream film.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like that whole thing, but I just meant like the last bit,
Yeah,
the
it is
actual
the end of
opening,
filming.
the actual like real what was happening in the like real life.
And
was a bit
the plus
underwhelming,
about
'cause
this
just-
film is they show a couple of seconds of Shaun of the Dead,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
which is just so good that I think it might save the film.
Mm.
I mean,
Because
yeah,
I mean,
anything with
3
Shaun of the Dead.
seconds of Shaun of the Dead is just chef's kiss, you know? It just elevates everything, you know?
Mhm.
Anyway, that's my little fangirling over. I won't go into that. The AV Club this time in this film explains the
Yeah.
horror film rules. I
Mm.
think I think that seems kind of quite well done in a way.
Yeah.
Maybe not well done, but like it's a good idea.
But they talk about reboots and stuff because it was a reboot of
Yeah.
the franchise at the time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. So I think just the deaths in this film were just too excessive. That's just something I'm gonna
Yeah.
say. Because the
Yeah.
third one had no excessive deaths. So they really had to like. So I think
But
between the two.
I also think it's a way of like the characters being like, oh well, they wanted their like reboot to be more successful, so like everything has to be like amplified.
Yeah, that's the thing they
kills,
explain in the
more
AV
gore.
Club room scene, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Although this, I will say, this film does have quite a good score, like with the music. I think the like music, like orchestral score stuff, is very good. And
Also,
they
I
have
will
the I'll
die.
be right back line as well before someone dies. The
Yeah.
iconic.
Yeah.
I will die on this hill. Jill killed like 2 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like, Sophie, you're pretty good at working out who actually kills who.
Oh, I know who kills who.
You know, like between
I
the two
can't.
killers.
It's hard to remember. I did this. This is my obsession like years ago. But there's just a lot of them. There's no way it can be Jill.
Yeah.
And even when it can be both, I feel like it's very out of like Jill's character to do it. I feel like because I know she definitely killed like Trevor
Yeah.
and she killed Charlie because obviously we see
Yeah.
those.
Double cross. The double cross.
Yeah, the double cross. But I think she was like the best at. I think she manipulated Charlie to like do all the like dirty work for her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, do
I
all the
really like
killing.
him as a character though, Charlie.
Yeah.
The AV Club guy, right? I'm bad
Yeah.
with names. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
he was
but,
quite cool as a character.
Yeah, because I definitely feel like she manipulated him because he obviously I
Definitely.
swear he loved her or something.
Yeah.
Like they
Oh,
said
yeah.
they were gonna be together or
Jill's
something.
character
That's why she
is
used that to make her kill everyone because I think she's more of a manipulator than like a killer.
I agree. Jill is a complete
All she wanted
psychopath.
was because then she could just pin it on him really easily.
Yeah,
'Cause it's
but she
easier to
is
pin it on
such
him
a
if she
good
could do anything.
character.
She was the Gypsy Roses of this entire situation.
Yes. And everyone's saying, "Oh, she killed like 7 people." No, she didn't.
No, she told
She-
some guy to do it.
Yeah.
She is like such a mastermind though, I think, in her way. Like I think she's such a well-developed character.
Also, so ahead of her time because the whole like, oh, she wanted to be famous like thing. That wasn't much of a. I don't know. That wasn't.
Yeah, I thought that was quite cool. And she does even get her fans at the end. Which
Yeah.
is, you know. Yeah. But I think I would say kind of possibly good character, wrong
Yeah.
movie. Maybe. Like she's a very good character,
Yeah.
but just something about it doesn't really fit. Like just nothing in this
Yeah.
film. Like there's lots of like this film has quite a few like good elements. They just don't quite fit together in the way that
Yeah.
they
Like
could.
the hospital scene at the very end.
Oh my god.
Like
The
that
head
could have been a whole
defibrillator
separate.
is so good.
That could have been
I-
such a different film.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
I think just
Oh,
the hospital
defibrillator, yeah,
scene is so
defibrillator.
tense. So
Any
freaky.
like any last words? Oh, clear.
Clear. Yeah,
Clear?
it's so
They go clear.
oh my god.
I wish that's what took her out instead of the shot to the chest.
Well, they
Mhm.
kind of had that whole thing like this killer is going to be invincible, and they kind of followed up on that.
Yeah, but they did that with Roman already.
Oh yeah. He was not
he was
invincible,
literally
was he?
running and he got shot like 50 million times and he got shot in the head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he had a bulletproof vest on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, the police officer does though. She's the one that I think in this film she's so like hyper suspicious that it just
Mm.
can't be
Yeah.
her. And I don't think it would, and like she could work as a killer, but like
Yeah.
people don't really suspect Jill because they think Jill's gonna be like the new Sydney, but really
Yeah.
Sydney's still Sydney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I like the commentary. I like the whole thing about, every single, apart from Kirby, we find out, but every single one of the like new cast like dies. And I like the idea that I heard about this, but I like the idea that it's like, oh yeah, trying to make a reboot, but it won't like live up to the original. Like the original is
Oh,
like
that's
just
quite cool
on a
actually.
level. Because like
Yeah.
in the end, oh, who survives? The original characters, not the new
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah. Is this then a good point to move on to Scream 5? Or
Yes.
Scream as
Yes.
it's just called. Why is it not called Scream 5?
It
It's the
should have
fifth
just
It's
done.
Scream
It should have done
B.
what Scream 6 did. It should have been like Scream and then have the red V in the M. It should have done
Yeah,
that.
and why
It
is it
does.
Roman numerals then afterwards? It kind of bothers me. I feel like it's really not that deep, but it bothers
Oh,
me.
dude.
But like I
No,
think they
I
do
feel
make
like
a
calling
joke.
it Scream 2022.
I didn't
No,
even know. But I think
apparently it's called Scream 2022.
oh yeah, because it's the same. Yeah, because they do that when there's two with the same name.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think they
Like
do make
Scream
a
1,
joke
Scream
about
2,
it.
Scream 3, Scream 4, Scream 2022, Scream 6.
Yeah, it's so weird. But they do make a joke about it because they do have a thing where it's like, oh, why is the sixth stab maybe just called stab? Just call it stab six.
Yeah,
And I was
very
like,
much.
you know what? That's exactly what I'm thinking right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Um,
they go back to a very good opening scene for this film.
I love that. I love, even if she doesn't, also first person to survive the opening scene, Tara.
Yeah, she's a very good
Yeah.
character. I think it's filmed extremely well. You've got like a really good long tracking shot, which I just love. It works so well here. And just like all the sound and cinematography, it works really, really well in the opening scene. There's so much of it and it all just works so well.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the whole like updated. I love how it's like a tribute to the original opening scene with the
Yeah.
whole like phone, the asking questions and stuff. It was like modernized, like with the whole, the home security system, like getting
Yeah, I
locked it
think
on.
that is quite cool. I think it's quite hard to do well, and I think they did actually manage to achieve that.
Yeah.
I did really like it. So the whole kind of Amber and Tara things, for I think you told me this, that they were originally written as a couple.
Yeah, they were. They were originally going to be a couple, but then they got cut.
I'm actually I feel like they didn't change the script though. They just sort of took out the
Oh,
fact that they were a couple.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that you
And there
you
were
could
there
just
was a
really
whole thing
tell.
like there's a whole thing of like, oh yeah, Sam never approves of Amber, and I'm like, well, that'd be easy.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, sorry, you don't approve of my best friend.
Yeah, it is a bit weird. But yeah, I think there's something going on between them and they sort of just took it out. That is a bit weird.
I mean, to me personally, I feel like the killers in this film are controversially one of the like unrealistic killers out of the entire franchise.
Yeah, I think I might have to agree with that.
Because it has been confirmed that Amber was the one that killed Dewey.
Yeah.
That 5'6" tiny woman was able to kill like a 6'3" hench
Yeah, I swear the
grizzled
height
police
difference
officer.
isn't that much in that scene.
Yeah, but apparently she was the one who killed a major character.
I always find it
Oh my god. That was Amber. Also, I have a great way of telling who's Amber and who's Richie.
yeah.
Basically, all the like really violent, like kind of more kind of less like precise kills, like with the multiple stabs, it's always Amber because it's always like over the top and excessive, and Richie's like more calculated, and it's always like the stab through the neck or like
Oh
neck
my
being
God, the neck stabs are like actually horrific with that one
there's
guy.
the
They
neck
have
stab, and then like two got their necks like slashed, and that's always like
yeah.
Richie 'cause it's
The
like
neck stab with their friend whose mum is the police officer.
yeah.
I think I quite like they use a lot of cinematography in his death scene that like refers to Psycho, and I
Oh my
thought that
god,
was a really
also
cool
like
little
the the scene where she's like running back like she's running to that house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she turns around the car, drives really fast, runs to the house, and then you just don't expect to go to just jump out and like stab her while she's trying to run.
Yeah, it's really, really good. It's like the jump scare that you weren't expecting, and that well, that
Yeah,
was well.
and it's obviously that's obviously Amber, and then Richie's the one that kills Wes.
Yeah. I think going
Also, not
back to a previous death though, the guy in the bar with that was a really cool death with the car. And
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
the car music, had a good song playing as well. And
what song?
yeah, but and also he was such like an asshole though. He really deserved it. Not to be like that, but yeah. The one thing that kind of bugs me though, I'm gonna say this is the one thing and then say like 10 other things. How
Yeah.
old are like Tara and her friends meant to be? Because they're like in bars and like, and there was
No,
another
they were only they
stuff
no,
and-
but they weren't drinking though.
yeah,
And
but
they
like, in
get
America aren't they so strict on stuff like that they wouldn't let you in bars? Like
No, they're
yeah,
allowed to go
yeah,
into
you
a
get
bar.
kicked out in Weatherspoons
there's
past
a
5.
deleted scene. There's a deleted scene about I can't remember if it I actually can't remember. But I swear they get I can't remember if this is an actual thing, but that they get done for like underage drinking or something.
Oh right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember if this is an actual thing or if I'm thinking of something completely different.
Yeah. You also have oh my God, what's her name? The Requel Rules by
Yeah.
Mindy.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Do you have okay, sorry, this is only because I'm watching Vampire Diaries. They're allowed in the bar. They're playing pool and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Requel Rules are pretty well done. I think I'd say they're very accurate with how they're
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
quite a cool little scene. There are so many family relations from like to like previous films. It's like, oh yeah, we need to make new characters. Let's just make them all family members of the original. And I don't know if I really
Yeah.
like that or not. I mean, it's very fitting for like the type of film that it is, and they're very self-aware of it. I think, but I still can't work out if I like it or not.
Hmm.
Yeah. Going back to the police officer Judy's death, just her line, I prefer animated films and musicals when he's like, what's a scary film? I found that so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
I love that. They do like play a lot on the original film in this one.
Did someone say that Bambi was like their favorite scary movie? I can't remember if that was a thing.
Oh my God, no, I think they do. Yeah. I
I
mean,
can't
there
remember who
is,
said that. I
I
can't
mean,
remember
Bambi
who
the Reckoning is coming, guys. There is going to be a Bambi horror film. So,
Oh,
I can't wait.
not to brag, guys, but my brother's actually a camera assistant on it. So,
Very
Cool.
nice.
anyway,
yeah. But in this film, another thing that kind of annoys me, Gail's dialogue is not as well written as it was previously. I think you can kind of tell that it's a different writer.
yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like also Gail's screen time is like not
Yeah,
Yeah.
it isn't quite as good
12
quality
minutes.
either.
So that was Scream 6. I can't remember how long it was.
Yeah. And something does actually
I
kill
don't feel like
Judy.
Scream 6 she had like a lot more
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
to do, but she had less screen time.
Yeah. In this film, though, Dewey is actually killed by something,
Oh,
which is
By-
it's sad, but something actually it turns out something can kill him, and it's probably bad chemistry with Courtney Cox because of their divorce.
Yeah.
I think he said it's because he didn't want to be on the show anymore. But I don't know. No, not they
thought it was
didn't want to be.
specific.
I think it was something like, oh yeah, I want like my character to die or something.
Oh, really? I guess some people do that though.
Yeah.
A lot, yeah. Yeah, that's
But that was so sad. The first time I watched it, I was like,
it's like I can't believe they did that. How dare
Yeah.
they? Yeah. Okay. Scream
and
6.
also, like, oh, and also like he was gonna kill him, but he got distracted by like his phone, and it was Gail calling him, and he died.
Oh my God, no, don't even. That was so
Mhm.
sad.
And it was
The
Gail
Gale
calling him to
calling,
be
I was
like, I swear it was Gail calling to like
yeah.
be like, oh, I still like you or something like that.
Yeah, it's so sad. Yeah. Is this the point where we move on to Scream 6?
Yeah.
Scream 6, one of the best in the franchise.
Yes, one of the best. One of the best.
Also, the most brutal killings I think in the
Sorry,
in the-
that opening scene.
Yes.
I watched it. I
No,
couldn't watch.
Oh
I
my
could not
God.
watch.
The
By the way,
opening
could we
scene
just
is so amazing.
Samara Weaving, aka one of the most
I
greatest
love
modern
Samara
screen
Weaving. Why
queens
did
of
she have
all
like
time.
1 minute of screen time and then die?
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
but
always how it
also
works, isn't it? They
Yeah.
do
for
kind
the
of play on
first
that
time,
though.
we see the Ghostface unmasked in the first 10 minutes
Yes,
of that film.
I no, because then
I
after
love
like
it.
Samara Weaving does like I was like, okay, it's gonna say Scream 6 or whatever, and then he just goes, I'm like, well, what are
Yeah,
we
It's
like
doing?
wait a
really
minute.
Like an account of the
What's
murderer? What are we doing?
Yeah, and then like it's really weird. And then he's talking to Tara, and then he's got like a
Yeah,
little shrine to the stab films, and then he finds his boyfriend in the fridge.
I
boyfriend.
don't think it was no, I thought it
I
was
thought it
his
was
best friend.
boyfriend. Are
I
they
thought
not
it was
His
his
best
dating?
friend.
roommate.
Best
Oh,
friend.
I
Best
thought they were
friend.
dating.
Oh,
Oh,
And they were roommates.
they
they
were
were
roommates.
they were close friends.
They were close friends and roommates. Um, yeah. I thought they were dating. I swear they call each other like honey or like babe or something on the phone. Maybe
Yeah,
they
but that's what
What?
most guys do. I do that to most of my guy friends also.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I think it's a really good twist
They
in the
weren't on the phone with each other though.
well when
Yes,
it's
on the
actually
phone.
then turns out to be Ghostface.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and also the soundtrack of this film's really good. You got some Gun and Red, you got Billie Eilish, and I really appreciate that. Just as a quick little note.
Yeah.
Also, the first time we see Ghostface use a gun.
Oh yeah,
Really?
Yeah, it's the first time Ghostface used a gun was in the bodega scene.
yeah.
Oh my
Oh
God,
my
the
god.
machine gun.
Oh my god. Yeah, with the corner shop. Oh my god, that
Yeah.
scene. That's like I found that quite weird watching because I was trying to work out like why is this scene so good, and it's just kind of like slow pacing and stuff. They don't
Oh
use
yeah.
like an
Also,
excessive
the
amount of
whole
techniques like they normally
oh
do.
my God, the whole like crawling on the floor and like throwing the
Oh my
can and
god,
stuff.
it's
I was
so
holding my
so
breath.
good.
It's
Yeah,
exactly like a horror game would be like where you throw the can to distract the killer so you can
yeah,
escape.
Yeah.
So you feel like you're along for the ride as well.
yeah. Also, then Kirby comes back.
Yeah, we love Kirby. Kirby's one of the best characters in Scream 4, so I'm very happy about that.
But I was like, how is she alive? I just don't believe
She
this.
only got she got stabbed in like the side.
Did
Yeah.
she? I was like,
Yeah.
that girl got stabbed so many times. How is she alive?
She got stabbed once in
Also,
the
also
side.
you
Oh,
can see it in Scream 5 where there was a scene where James A.
Where
Janisse
he's
and
like,
Chelsea
oh
Rebecca do a
yes.
little podcast. And if you don't know who they are the co-owners of Dead Meat YouTube, aka the best horror YouTube channel of all time. Please hit me up. I really want to work for you guys in the future. Please hit me up. That's beside the point. Yeah, and if you see on one of the side things of the YouTube videos, it says some Kirby, whatever her last name is, still
Reed.
alive, question mark, on one of the YouTube videos.
Dude, that
oh,
was it's Stu still alive question mark. And then with the Kirby one, it was like, oh, interview with Kirby or something like that. Interview with
Yeah.
survivor of like Woodsboro murders.
yeah. I think one of the things about this film that I don't really like is the whole Tara and Chad thing.
I think
Yeah.
it's fine. Just
I don't like
no,
it.
do you know what I would have loved?
What?
You know when she takes off his oxygen mask in the end?
Oh my god.
I would have just loved it if he just died.
That would be so funny.
His oxygen mask, he died.
Also, by the way, Chad shouldn't be dead. Like he is dead. He got double teamed by both Ghostface
okay.
killers.
No,
Yeah.
because Kirby, one stab in the side. This man, he got stabbed like 50 times in
He
the
turned
chest.
into a human pincushion.
It's insane.
He was turned into Swiss cheese by two Ghostface members. should be dead.
He is.
I know.
He just has to
That's the only
be.
thing. I swear they only kept him alive for like the him and Tara storyline, which is
Yeah,
really
and
annoying.
that does.
I
annoy
don't
me.
mind. I didn't mind him and Tara, but like
I do.
didn't-
You're like if
Why
you turn
keeping
him
him
into a
alive?
pincushion, you might as well let him die. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think if we're going back a bit earlier, the scene with the ladder and like going through
Mhm.
the windows, trying to communicate through the
Oh my
windows.
God, that was so
That's
tense.
so tense. And then at the end, you're like, how is that woman alive? Because
What woman?
what Quinn? She
No,
like
Quinn
fell
got
to her
stabbed.
death.
No, she's the
No,
one
that
who got
wasn't her.
stabbed.
That was
She got
her.
stabbed.
That was the girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
The
Okay, wait.
girlfriend that fell to her
Sorry,
death.
guys.
Quinn was the
I'm
one that got
getting my
stabbed and like
people
chucked
mixed
out of a door.
I was gonna say like how she survived. We just saw her like fall to her death.
No, that was
Uh,
Annika.
That was Annika. I'm remembering that now. Okay, yeah. So and they reference back to the second film quite a lot with the whole kind of like tracking the phones and the college
Yeah.
thing, and the college setting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And I'm like, this is where Uncle Randy died.
yeah.
I don't. Me personally, though, the reveals of the killers are probably one of the worst in the series.
Yeah.
The reveal, I didn't know who any of them were,
Oh, really?
apart from
I knew who
Quinn.
they were.
Yeah.
Who Quinn was. I don't really like
I don't think.
Ethan.
I think
Ethan
the
was
Queen was
so
quite
like a
charming.
temporary cat. He's such a standing character.
Yeah.
I'm like, why would you make him a killer?
I like the police
I like
officer
that.
one though. I like
That
Officer
was quite
Bailey
clever.
was all right.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a good motive, but I wouldn't say he's like a good like he wasn't that much involved in the film, so I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, yeah,
I think the whole thing on the tube though in this film, that's really, really
oh yeah,
Yeah.
that is
And with
so
everyone in
cool
like
with, like all the
Halloween costumes.
close-ups
I
and
love the accuracy of it as well.
yeah.
I love how because people in Halloween like were dressing up as characters instead of like, oh, this is a witch.
Yeah, I
This is
actually quite like
a
that. I
ghost.
think it's really cool.
There are people literally dressed up as like people. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that it is accurate. And
It's a reference to like a ton of other films.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
you have the whole Kirby fake out near the end where you think it's Kirby for a bit. I mean, I wasn't really fully but actually did I fully buy it the first time I watched it? I'm not sure, but I thought that was quite a cool thing to do. The
Yeah.
little kind of fake out of oh it's
Oh, she's the
Kirby.
only one with a gun, and then she locked us
Yeah.
in here.
Thing is, they did mention that gun like a couple of times, I think. So that was pretty like
Yeah.
they made that a big thing.
Yeah.
They did.
That was
They
good.
both breached force head gun.
Yeah. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, they both.
Oh god. Also, do you know what I love? I love all the ghosts, well, the Scream like memorabilia and stuff in the
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
theater.
that's
That,
Scream
oh my
Museum.
god. I could
you know that's a
I
real
literally
place you can go to.
Really?
There's a Scream museum somewhere. I think it's
We
in
should
some
go.
sort of like Universal.
That's so cool.
It's-
Gotta go, guys.